There will be a time. Oh, 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 oh. There will be a time. Oh, 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 oh. There will be a time.
Hey guys, and welcome on in to another episode of Getting Well Retired Friends, NHL trends and betting picks. Third show of the day. We went over Friday's slate. I went over my Western Conference predictions, and now we are going to break down Saturday's slate. And what a nice slate we have on Saturday. It's just a shame that the NHL couldn't have had some of these Saturday games on Friday. Because we've got two duds here tonight. I still have a play in each game, so make sure to check that out on the Friday show. But they could have put some of these 14 games we have on Saturday slate. A couple of them could have been on Friday, but apparently not. So nothing to recap because nothing's happened yet on Friday night. But I'll take a look here at the chat. Being sick at home makes it difficult to handicap games. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, Tommy. Hope you feel better. Hope you feel better. Are Ehlers, Monahan, and Toffoli going to produce tonight? Ehlers an anytime point. Very light for me. Just my two plays I gave on the site or gave out on the show. Morrissey assist, Blackhawks plus 1.5, and then my premium play in college basketball. So very light slate for me on today's two games, but not a light slate on tomorrow. I've got so many picks for tomorrow, it's not even funny. Big slate. Let's get it all. Thank you for the look ahead. No problem. I enjoy doing the shows Friday night. That way, Saturday morning, it's not as much of a rush for me. Shifley is playing tonight. Okay. There we go. That's good news for Winnipeg. But we will jump into the very first game, which is an afternoon game here between the Buffalo Sabres and the Detroit Red Wings here in this one. Buffalo minus 105 to minus 110. Detroit minus 107 to minus 110. Sixes for the most part. There is a 6.5 here at DraftKings in this game. How these teams been doing recently? Buffalo 5-2-1 in their last 8 games. They've been playing well. 3 overs, 3 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. Detroit 7 losses in a row, all by multiple goals. They did just face this Buffalo team, got their ass handed to them, but they're getting their ass handed to them by everybody. Even the Coyotes were able to beat Detroit by 4 and then by 3 goals during this 7-game stretch. Buffalo 5-1 in the last 6 meetings between the teams. 6 in a row have gone over 7.5. So expect fireworks here in this game. But I'm not looking at the total, though seeing a 6 is kind of interesting, to be honest. But for me, Sabres money line minus 105 and Bowen Byram over half a point for tomorrow's game. Yes, this is a revenge spot for Detroit, but Arizona was also a revenge spot for Detroit because they had got shut out 4-0 against Arizona their previous game and then went ahead and lost again. So this Detroit team is a fade team, pretty much an auto fade team right now. Buffalo at a fantastic price. Yes, they're on the road, but they're playing great hockey. Detroit is not. Give me the Sabres minus 105. Byram to get a point. He has been fantastic since being traded from the Avalanche. He probably just feels like he's going to have more opportunity here in Buffalo. Maybe he feels wanted getting traded for. So maybe he wasn't feeling so wanted in Colorado. So he's done very well. I'll back him. Should be plus money to get a point here in this game. Looking at player props, other player props, Zach Benson, 2 or more points in back-to-back games. 3 points in the one game, 2 points in the other. He's really played well 2 games in a row. Shane Gostisbehere for Detroit has a point in 9 of his last 11. So Gostisbehere, the one of the few Red Wings that are playing well consistently. Lucas Raymond does have a goal in back-to-back games for the Wings. If Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is in this game, then I don't really want the over, and I don't really want Detroit props because he's been fantastic. So Sabres here. Ice X likes the draw. Interesting. So you like a close game. So Mr. No draws, no draws. Now you like a draw. Interesting. Okay. Shifley birthday. Okay. So you might play well tonight. Red Wings fan. I'm on Sabres money line all day. Wish I got this at plus money when I saw it first. Ended up with minus 104. Yeah. Yeah. It's just right now the Wings need Larkin bad. They need him badly, not just for his offensive skill, but for his leadership. I think it's extremely missing right now. Reimer's birthday, interesting, and he's getting the start. He has been confirmed. Just not playing well at all. Red Wings done for the season. It does appear that way, but if they find a way to end this skid, they're not out of it yet. If it ain't broken, let's go Sabres. Let's go Bo Byram. I agree. Cashed Raymond Incham goal the other night. Detroit's lines are a mess. I agree. Yeah, because I feel I'm going to get screwed. Fishy line. I think it's basically because of the way the standings are. Detroit's at home in this game. Detroit's still ahead of Buffalo in the standings. Books maybe not believing in the Sabres, and then not. I don't think it's that fishy of a line. Obviously, it's a great price with Buffalo, but I think it makes sense. Detroit's lineup is a mess. Yeah, they have issues right now. There's no other way to say it. But we will move on along to our second game here, which is between the red hot Ottawa Senators, who won back to back games, against the ice cold Islanders, who have lost back to back games. Ottawa plus 140 to plus 147. Islanders minus 166 to minus 175. Sixes, 6.5 available as well in this game here. How are these teams doing recently? I'm joking about Ottawa 2-6-1 in their last 9. They have won back-to-back games, yes, but against Pittsburgh and Columbus. 4 of their last 5 going under 3.5. So the Red Wings games are going under. 3 of their last 4 going overtime. The Islanders 6-2 in their last 8. 3 overs, 2 unders. 1 game did finish with 6 goals. They lost the second night of a back-to-back against the Kings. The Islanders aren't good on the second night of back-to-backs. They lost in Buffalo, really bad spot after traveling out west. And now they're here at home. Here in this game, the Islanders 6-1-1 in the last 8 games between the teams. 1 over, 5 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. For me here, no single plays. This is one of the few games. There's only a few games on the slate that I don't have a plan. Reason being, did the Islanders just get on a hot streak? Are they going to go back to how they were earlier on in the season where they are inconsistent? Or was it just 2 really bad spots for them? This is the test here. If this Islanders team is going to rebound and make a playoff push, they cannot lose this game. If the Islanders lose this game, then that says all I need to know about the Islanders. So I want to see how this game goes. Not going to put my money on it. The Islanders are big favorites. I'd have to go within regulation or on the puck line. And I just don't feel confident doing that here. The Senators, yes, they've, as I said, they won back-to-back games, but Pittsburgh in free fall mode basically, and then Columbus. That's nothing to write home about. So we'll see what happens in this game. It'll be interesting. Looking at player props, Jake Sanderson, an assist in 3 of his last 4 games for Ottawa. Tim Stützle, a point in 4 games in a row. Matthew Barzal, a point in 14 of his last 16 for the Islanders. Bo Horvat, a point in 5 of his last 7. And Brock Nelson, a point in 11 of his last 15 games for the Islanders. Let's go into the chat. Home and home split percentages. Yeah, that's reasoning. Battle of the Bums draw. Interesting. I could see a draw here. Sens love to go to OT against another bum team. They have been going to overtime lately, so I can see that. After traveling from West Coast, bounce back. It should be. This is a game the Islanders should win, and not like an overtime squeaking win. They should win this in regulation and maybe by 2. So Rangers smack the Isles tomorrow, Sunday. Oh, yeah. Islanders are absolutely horrible, awful in back-to-backs. So we'll see. Yeah. They'll show up strong at home tomorrow. Palmieri will get his 3+, 4+ shots and goal. All right. We'll see. They should definitely. Sens love to give up shots, and Patrick Waugh has his team attacking more. Yes. We will see if they can rebound here. But on to our next game. The IceX was just kind of talking about the New York Rangers and heading into Pittsburgh here. Rangers -140 to -145. Pittsburgh -120 to +124. Or sorry, +120 to +124. Sixes right across the board. Does look like there is some 5.5s at FanDuel and Pinnacle if you are looking towards the over in this game. How have these teams been doing recently? Rangers 4-3-1 in their last 7. Pittsburgh 2-6-1 in their last 9. Rangers have gone under 4.5 in 3 of their last 4. Pittsburgh 1 over, 2 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. The Rangers 6-1-1 in the last 8 games between these teams. They've had a lot of success against Pittsburgh. No overs, 3 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. After the Rangers game against Tampa Bay, I like them here, and I like them to win this by margin. Give me the Rangers puck line +175. Fantastic price here. Pittsburgh, yes, they won a game. It was against San Jose. This Rangers team is not San Jose. This Rangers team is pissed off, and this is an opponent that I believe multiple players on this Pittsburgh team have already given up on the season. So I will take the Rangers here to bounce back on the road on the puck line, +175 for big plus money here in this one. Line seems choppy. Draw? Really? I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know if I agree with that. Player props. Temi Panarin, a point in 10 of his last 13. Vincent Trocheck, a point in 11 of his last 13. 3 shots on goal in 12 of his last 15. Chris Kreider has a point in 5 games in a row. Adam Fox, a point in 6 of his last 8 games. Brian Rust didn't get many shots at all his last game, but his previous 3 games, 6 or more shots. So maybe you look at Brian Rust shots, but I don't really see much coming from the Pittsburgh Penguins here in this game. Yager bobblehead night. Pittsburgh marketing department reveals the stolen bobbleheads. Huge edge. LOL. Yeah, I don't know about that. Line should be like the Flyers Bruins game. At least close to it. Potentially, maybe. Jonathan Quick is a stud. And let me bring up goal. Because I didn't really think we'd have any confirmed, so I didn't really think I'd have to look. But I was wrong. Korpisalo and Varlamov for the Ottawa Islanders game. We mentioned Reimer. Nobody confirmed here in this one. I'm not sure Quick starts here. Well, he's going to start one of the 2 games. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see who starts here, but really it doesn't matter to me. Quick has been pretty consistent all year. Maybe better more earlier on. He's still playing well, and Igor will want to bounce back. So whatever happens, happens. I'm fine with the goalies. I like the Rangers here in this game. We'll move on along to the next one here. We've got the New Jersey Devils and the Arizona Coyotes. New Jersey minus 155 to minus 165. Arizona plus 140 to plus 140 everywhere. 6.5s right across the board in this game. No goalies confirmed for this one. New Jersey 2-5 in their last 7. Arizona 2-4 in their last 6. New Jersey 4 overs, 2 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. Arizona's gone over 6.5 in 5 of their last 8. The Devils 6-2-1 in the last 9 games between these teams, back-to-back overtime games between these two. 3 overs, no unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. If the total is a 6, total's not a 6, it's a 6.5, but I like it over here. The Devils are playing high-scoring games. The Coyotes are playing high-scoring games. These two play high-scoring games when they face each other, so I like the over. And then 2 goal props. No prices yet. Everything, once I pull the trigger on all my props tomorrow morning, I'll put it in the comment section of this video. So I may add more additional props. Everything once bet will be in the description, or sorry, will be in the comment section of this video. But Timo Meier anytime goal, he's got one in 6 of his last 7 games, a point in 8 of his last 10. Nico Hischier, a point in 7 of his last 8, 3 shots on goal in 7 of his last 8. Jack Hughes, a point in 7 of his last 9 games, 3 shots on goal in 6 of his last 8. Hughes has kind of fallen off here a bit, but now he's on the top line playing left wing with Hischier, and then on the right wing is Dawson Mercer. So Timo Meier on the second line with Bratt and Holla. So interesting to see Jack Hughes going to the left wing, but playing with Hischier is going to be very interesting. So I like the top line to get points for the Devils. I like the second line to get points for the Devils. Nick Bukestad is heating up. A goal in 4 of his last 5 games. He's going to be a nice plus price. Playing on the top line with Nick Schmaltz, who has an assist in 6 of his last 8 games. Clayton Keller, at least 3 shots on goal in 6 games in a row. So some nice props here in this one. Hoping for a nice high-scoring game. Cash a couple goal scores as well. Devils puck line. All right, so no draw. Okay. Devils travel to Arizona. Jeez. Yeah, they were just in Dallas, so not not on a road trip. Meyer and Bugstad. Agree? Over. Agree. But we will move on to the first parlay of the day. So this is the afternoon parlay of the day with players from games that we've already discussed. I do have 2 today. Kind of mentioned on the show I would do 2, just because I didn't have any for Friday. So the afternoon parlay of the day is Vincent Trocheck over half a point and Nico Hischier over half a point. Odds to be determined. But that will be the afternoon parlay of the day. As I already mentioned, Nico Hischier a point 7 of his last 8 games. Vincent Trocheck a point 11 of his last 13. I think both can find the score sheet in tomorrow's game. But we will move on along to the next game on the slate. This should be a very good game, and it's going to be very interesting here. Tampa Bay plus 142 to plus 149. The Florida Panthers minus 162 to minus 175. Huge home favorites here. 6s right across the board in this one. Tampa Bay 3-2-1 of their last 5. 5 of their last 6 over 6.5. Florida 8-2 in their last 10, coming off a embarrassing 4-0 loss in their last one. 2 overs, 2 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. Panthers have won 4 in a row against the Tampa Bay Lightning. 5 of the last 7 going under 5.5. Give me the Panthers puck line plus 150. I like the price here. I'm not a believer in this Tampa Bay team. I think they're going to be feeling pretty happy about what they did to the Lightning or to the Rangers. And this Florida Panthers team is not going to be feeling pretty happy after their last game against Carolina. I think they take it to their interstate rivals here. Give me the puck line. If you wanted to go within regulation instead here, you can get a plus money price for that. Um, that's fine as well. But I'm going to go with the puck line. I think the Panthers come out here and rebound after their last game. Bolts money line. Bolts. Okay. F. LOL, just kidding. Let's go Bolts. Okay. Perfect time to tank for the President's Trophy. Not on purpose, of course. Just resting to get healthy for playoffs. Maybe, but I'm not buying into that. I think Maurice is going to be extremely unhappy with that Carolina game. Duclair versus former team, that's something you could look at. Thought he did score in his last game. I don't have him on the sheet, but that is potentially someone you could look at for Tampa Bay. Looking at player props here, Braden Point, 11 of his last 12, a goal, and 8 of his last 11. Nikita Kucherov, a point in 19 of his last 20 games, consistent. Brandon Hagel, a point in 16 of his last 19. Sam Reinhart, a point in 7 of his last 9. Alexander Barkov, a point in 5 of his last 8. And Gustav Forsling, a point in 5 of his last 6 games. For the Florida Panthers, you might be saying, well, why aren't you taking Braden Point? Anytime goal. I expect the Panthers to play very well in this game, and it would not surprise me if they win this game something like 4-1. And I'm not going to take Tampa Bay anytime goal when I think the Panthers are going to dominate this game. So I'll stay off Point anytime goal. Point and declare anytime goal parlay. There you go. There you go. I disagree, but we'll see what happens. We'll move on along to the game of the night, the game that everyone has been waiting for us to talk about. We've got the San Jose Sharks and the Columbus Blue Jackets here in this game. San Jose plus 165 to plus 170. Columbus minus 192 to minus 205. 6.5s right across the board in the game of the night. How are these teams doing recently? I guess I should have checked on goalies. Let's see if we had anything. No. This game we do. Magnus Krona starting again. Pretty much every game right now. Nobody confirmed for Columbus. Most likely it'll be Elvis Merzlikins, but nobody's confirmed yet. How are these teams doing recently? San Jose has lost 12 of their last 13 games. 4 of their last 6 going over 6.5. Columbus has lost 4 of their last 5, 3 over, 3 under, 1 finished with 6 goals. Columbus has won 4 of the last 5 between these teams, 4 of the last 5 going over 6.5 here. No single plays, but not a complete pass, surprisingly. For me here, San Jose has 2 players that are playing pretty well right now that you could look at. Mikael Granlund, a point in 4 of his last 6. Fabian Zetterlund, a point in 4 of his last 5. So those are 2 players you could look at for San Jose. What I'm probably going to be looking at for a parlay piece here is Alex Nylander, 3 or more shots on goal. He has done that in 7 of his last 9. The Sharks give up a ton of shots. Nylander now on the top line for the Jackets. He's been their best player recently. So I think he can get 3 shots on goal on the Sharks. I don't expect that to be plus money, but it very well could be. So that could be a single play that I end up adding. As I said earlier, check the comments of this video on Saturday, and I'll have my player props listed, additional ones, and my final list. Vasi 3 goals against. Yeah, he's been doing that every game, pretty much. Ass. You mean pass. Do you mean pass or do you mean ass? Because either one can describe this game. Alex, Mother Truckin, Mother Macon, Nylander, OMFG. Shots and goal ladder. I agree. Last game he was 3 plus was plus 124 plus was 300. Wow. Okay. So yeah, we can probably get a good price. Well, they are playing San Jose in this game, so we'll have to see but probably still going to be plus money. So yeah, most likely that will be a single play for me tomorrow. So I will have a play in this game. Um, moving on along to the next one, we've got Carolina Hurricanes and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Carolina minus 110 to minus 115. Toronto minus 104 to minus 110. Sixes right across the board here in this one. No goalies confirmed yet. Frederick Anderson listed here. I assume he's going to face his former team. Ilya Samsonov not confirmed for Toronto. How are these teams doing recently? Carolina 6-2 in their last 8, coming off that big win against the Florida Panthers. 2 overs, 3 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. Toronto 5-2 in their last 7, 4 of their last 5 going under 5.5. Carolina 4-3-1 in the last 8 games between the teams. 3 of the last 5 going under 5.5. And for me here, I'm not fading this Carolina Hurricanes team anymore. It has not worked out well for me. So Owen and Robert, I'm not fading your Hurricanes anymore. I'll back them here. Yes, they're on the road in Toronto, but this Hurricanes team is just playing so well. No Mitch Marner for the Leafs, and another player out as well. So Toronto has some injuries here. Played very well against the Flyers, but the Carolina Hurricanes are not the Flyers, and it's a Kelly Gunkrug that I believe is out. He was on the top line for the Leafs the last game. So injuries for the Leafs. This Carolina team is dangerous. Gensel's starting. He had his first point, and wouldn't be surprised to see him play well here. For the Leafs, Teuvo Teravainen, a 0.7 of his last 9, a goal in 4 of his last 7. Andrei Svechnikov, a 0.5 of his last 6, goal in 4 of his last 5. I may get to Svechnikov anytime goal. That may be a play I add as well. Sebastian Aho, a 0.4 of his last 7, and Marty Necas. Marty Necas, three shots on goal in 10 of his last 11 games. So he has been shooting the puck a ton. Bobby McMahon, yeah, I gave him some shit on today's show. His 6-game shots and goal streak ended, but 6 of his last 7, 8 of his last 10, he's got 3 shots on goal. We'll see what he can do here against the Hurricanes. We may see some line jumbling for the Leafs. So I may end up getting to him as well. We'll have to see. Hurricanes, they're a team that does most of the shooting, so we'll have to see here in this one. Leafs money line covering face. Okay, so me and IceX are seeing the board differently tomorrow. Road and Hockey Night in Canada game. Yes. Good price on the Canes. The Kuzi vibe in the locker room is so good right now for the Carolina. Yeah, exactly. I agree. McMahon needs to be elevated in the lineup to even consider him. Yes. With Yarncrow gone, we'll see what the lineup looks like. We'll see what happens with McMahon. But to not even get a shot when you've been shooting the puck so much, you sign that extension and you come out and just have a complete dud against the Flyers when the team wins 6-1, doesn't look very good. That's all I got to say there. But we'll move on along to our next one. We've got the Montreal Canadiens heading to Calgary to face the Flames. Montreal plus 145 to plus 150. Calgary minus 170 to minus 175. 6.5s right across the board in this one. I don't believe we have any goaltenders here, but let me check. Nope. It's listed Samuel Montembeault against Dustin Wolf. We'll have to see. Obviously, those are the 2 goalies that started in the last game, so we'll see if they both start again. Montreal 3-2-3 in their last 7, 4 games in a row under 5.5. Calgary 2-4 in their last 6, 5 over, 1 under, 3 games finished with 6 goals. Montreal 5-1 in the last 6 meetings between the teams. The last 3 all going under 3.5 between these teams. I would like to thank the Calgary Flames for beating the Vegas Golden Knights yesterday. It does help Minnesota's playoff push. But the Flames minus 170 to minus 175 here. Yes, they're at home. Yes, they're facing Montreal. But Montreal is playing very well right now, and Montreal has had Calgary's number in recent years. Give me Montreal plus 150. I think it's a fantastic price for the road dog here. This Flames team should not be minus 175. Maybe if they were facing San Jose in this game, a team that loses every game. But Montreal is winning games right now. Plus 150 is too good of a price to pass up here against a team they've played very well. Player props, Cole Caulfield an assist in 5 of his last 7 games, 4 shots or more in 12 of his last 14. Uri Slafkovsky, a point in 3 games in a row. Alex Newhook, a point in 6 of his last 8. Igor Sharangovich, a goal in 6 of his last 8. So Igor Sharangovich, a good goal prop if you were looking at the Flames here. I'm probably going to stay off just because these two teams have played lower scoring games recently and very low scoring games in the past. So yes, we might look at this game and think overs, especially with the Flames. But as we saw against Vegas, maybe the Flames do have a defense, or Vegas just sucks. Either way, they're not an auto over like they were. Super pass. Okay. Okay. Maybe he was out celebrating after signing the contract. Same happened to William Nylander. Maybe true. Maybe. Pass Blake Coleman, anytime point parlay piece. All right. Best of luck. But we will move on along to the next one. We've got the Philadelphia Flyers heading to Boston to face the Bruins. Philadelphia plus 165 to plus 174. Boston minus 194 to minus 205. 5.5s right across the board in this one. How are these teams doing recently? Philadelphia 4-3-1 in their last 8. 3 of their last 5 going under 5.5. Boston 4-1-1 in their last 5. No overs, 4 unders, 3 games finished with 6 goals. Boston's won the last 6 games between these teams, 4 overs, 2 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. So we have seen higher scoring games. So the total is 5.5 here. For me, this one is a no single plays game. No single plays here for me. I will have a same game parlay with David Pastrnak and Pavel Zacha both to get a point. I should be able to get that for plus money. So that will be something I'll bet. Another same game parlay you could look at is Brad Marchand and Jake DeBrusk, both to get points. Playing on the second line. They both have points in 4 of their last 6. Zacha has a point 6 games in a row. Pastrnak a point 7 of his last 9. For Philadelphia, nobody's on a scoring consistent streak right now. Travis Konechny does have a point 9 of his last 11. 3 shots on goal in 9 of his last 11. So he's really been the only player consistent for the Flyers. But no single play here for me in this game, but I will have same game parlay here. This one. 2 good goaltenders. Okay. Wait, the Habs? Golly, of course. My overtime curse lives on forever, losing Habs money line last night. We'll take them tomorrow. Bruins puck line. Okay. So Ice X thinks they beat up the Flyers here. Looks like I get to catch a little bit of the live. Yes, you do. We're about halfway through the slate. But thanks for being here, Captain Brian. Pasta anytime goal minus 110. Maybe. Pasta 2+ points. I could see that. I'll just have the same game parlay for me with these two. But 5 more games left, and then the night parlay of the day. But the next game, St. Louis Blues hosting the Minnesota Wild. The Wild minus 120 to minus 130, or minus 122, sorry, to minus 130. The Blues plus 110 to plus 115. 5.5s right across the board in this game. If you watch the Wild and the Western Conference playoff show I did a few hours ago, you'll know my play in this game. But how are these teams doing recently? Minnesota 5-0-1 in their last 6 games since losing to the St. Louis Blues team in St. Louis. The Wild have responded, going 5-0-1. 3 of their last 6 going over 6.5. The other 3 going under 5.5. 2 of their last 4 going overtime. St. Louis 4-5-1 in their last 10. No overs, 6 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. The total is a 6. Minnesota has won 4 of the last 6 between these teams. 3 went over 6.5, 3 went under 5.5. So no real edge in the total here, and it could go any way. I could see over under, lots of things here. But for me, wild money line minus 122. Kirill Kaprizov anytime goal. Ryan Hartman over half a point. Wild are playing consistent hockey right now. This is an incredibly important game for them. They have to win this game. It is a revenge spot. As I said, the last regulation loss they had was against this Blues team in St. Louis. Now they get to go here and respond. Kirill Kaprizov, since that St. Louis Blues loss, Kaprizov has really heated up. Points in 6 games in a row, goals in 5 of his last 6. Ryan Hartman, a point in 4 of his last 5, goals in 2 of his last 3. Hartman has had success against this Blues team, including 2 shorthanded goals last year in about 35 seconds. I remember that game like it was yesterday. But Hartman likes to face the Blues and Binnington. Both him and Kaprizov heating up lately. Brandon Saad for St. Louis has a point in 9 of his last 12. So if you wanted to look at a St. Louis prop, Brandon Saad has been playing well recently. But huge game for the Wild, and we'll see what they can do here. Terry scared me off this game. Isex was going to bet the Blues. Well, Nick is on the Blues, so you could go with that if you want to tail him. But Nick loves the Blues. Let's go Wild and Kaprizov anytime goal. Yes, Captain Bry. Let's go. Terry is nervous because his Wild are in a critical hunt and rising. Exciting times. Well, not really nervous. But if you watch my previous show, it's going to be an extremely close race. So we'll see what happens down the stretch. No confirmed goaltenders here. It has Marc-Andre Fleury against Jordan Binnington listed. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that matchup. Of course, those two tried to fight each other, but the referee said no when they faced each other last year. That would have been excellent to see Binnington and Flower go at it and see Flower kick Binnington's ass and put him on his ass on the ice. So, hey, maybe we finally get to see that tomorrow, but I doubt it. I doubt it. But yeah, I like these 3 props, and we'll see who the goalies are for this game tomorrow. No, with Nick's overtime record and my overtime record, I can see the Blues losing because of what you predicted. Yes, I did say that I think the Blues would lose this game in overtime. I do think the Wild win this game in overtime. I think it'll be a very close game. So we will see if that's correct. Benny would have smacked. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Hearts laughing. You're joking. Yeah, you better be joking. Marc-Andre Fleury, maybe not a fighter, but I bet you the adrenaline could have got him through that against Bennington. Bennington's a lot of talk, not so much action. But we'll move on along to our next one. LA Kings and the Dallas Stars. LA plus 130 to plus 140. Dallas minus 155 to minus 165. 6s, 5.5s available here in this game. No confirm. David Riddick likely for LA, obviously with Talbot playing tonight. Nobody confirmed for Dallas. Do they go to Wedgwood? Ottinger, a very rough game against the Devils before being pulled. How have these teams done recently? LA, 4-4-1 in their last 9, playing tonight against Chicago. Not a good team on back-to-backs. And Yes, they were very hot on the road earlier on, but on a bit of a road losing streak here. They have not played as well on the road recently. Dallas 5-2 in their last 7 games, 4 of their last 5 going over 6.5, 2 of the last 5 going overtime. These two teams just faced each other not too long ago in LA. So you heard me mention that Dallas was 10-3 in the last 13. Well, now they're 11-3 in the last 14. 2 overs, 6 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. Kings on the second night of a back-to-back, heading to Dallas here. This Dallas Stars team owns the Kings, and this Dallas Stars team embarrassed about their home loss to the New Jersey Devils. Kind of like the Rangers here, kind of like the Panthers. I like the Stars to rebound and take care of business here and win this game handily against the LA Kings. So I'll take the Stars on the puck line, plus 160 to get the job done here tomorrow in this one. Binner deserved it last year. He must be doing his yoga, meditation, self care because he's more relaxed and even filtered. Well, that's good. Yay! Yay! Me and Isex agree. For the first time on the slate, we finally agree. I like it. LA Kings back to back after tonight in Chicago. Auditor still has problems riding Auditor for 3 goals against until it fails. Hey, no problem. Stars bounce back, puck line, and we'll be looking at Johnston props. I agree. I agree. And yeah, Johnston props should be as badly priced as they were last game. Hopefully here. Problem is LA Kings isn't getting depth scoring beyond Fiala and Kempe. I agree. Mike McDonald's ceremony in Dallas. Oh, okay. Don't love ceremonies, but this Dallas Stars team is just should be a very pissed off team coming into this game. And as I said, they've done very well against the LA Kings. Looking at player props for LA right now, nobody's really consistent. We'll see if Fiala can get going again. Kempe did have a goal, I believe, in his last game, but I'd like to see more from him consistently here. For the Stars, Wyatt Johnston, a 0.8 of his last 10 games, 3 or more shots, 7 of his last 8. Jamie Benn has an assist in 6 of his last 7 games playing with Wyatt Johnston. Great duo. Logan Staykoven, 3 or more shots in 5 of his last 7. Not getting as many points recently, but still shooting the puck, playing well with Johnston and Ben. Jason Robertson had a point 7 games in a row. He's the one who lost the parlay of the day the other night. But he still has a 0.7 of his last 8. We'll see if he can get back here and get another point after not getting one in his last one. I hate ceremonies. I agree, but Seattle lost Eberle 1000 game silver stick ceremony. Okay. Kraken tend to stink when they're missing 1 or 2 players. It's astounding. Yeah, the Kraken, obviously an expansion team that can't really afford to have a lot of injuries, not a lot of depth there. Missing Vince Dunn has definitely hurt them, but 3 more games left, and then the night parlay of the day. Moving on along to our next one, talking about the Kraken. Perfect segue. Nashville Predators and Seattle Kraken. Nashville minus 118 and minus 122. Seattle plus 100 to plus 108. 5.5s right across the board in this one. Don't believe we have goalies here. Nope. Has UC Saros listed potentially against Philip Grubauer here in this one. How are these teams doing recently? Nashville 11, 0-2 in their last 13. I was on them as a dog against Winnipeg. They played very well from start to finish. 3 overs, 1 under, 3 games finished with 6 goals. Seattle 4-3-1 in their last 8, coming off a 2-1 loss at home against the Capitals, who were on the second night of a back-to-back. 2 overs, 2 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. Seattle 5-2-1 all time against Nashville. 3 overs, 2 unders, 3 games finished with 6 goals between these teams. And for me here, well, you're going to give me this Predator team that is just lights out right now at this decent price. I'm going to take them. Give me the Preds minus 118. Again, if you watch the Western Conference preview show, I had the Predators winning this game. Really, it should be minus 130, minus 140. with how the Predators are playing, not minus 118. So I'll take the Preds here on the money line. Player props: Philip Forsberg, a point in 9 of his last 10 games. Ryan O'Reilly, a point in 7 of his last 9. Gustav Nyquist, a point in 7 of his last 10. Roman Josi, a point in 8 of his last 10. For Seattle, Oliver Bjorkstrand, Yanni Gord, both play on the same line. Both have points in 4 of their last 5. They are who I would look at for the Seattle Kraken, but not really looking for a lot of Kraken props. Nashville can play very well defensively. It took 15 seconds to cash Wyatt Johnston anytime goal. There you go. Ice Dunn, at ice. Dunn and Schwartz are huge losses. I agree. Preds money line. I agree. Line is too short, but man, Preds should destroy. Pass. But still, geez. Grubauer save prop. Gruby has been solid. Yeah, if he starts here. I don't know which Saros will show up. Well, Saros has been pretty consistent. This Predators team, 11-0-2 in their last 13. They've been consistent. So I don't know what else to say. But we will move on to the second last game of the night. Another really good game. Probably the game that most people here will be watching for the night games. We've got the Colorado Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers. Colorado plus 105 to plus 115. Edmonton minus 125 to minus 130. 6.5s and 7s available here in this game. How are these teams doing recently? I don't believe we'll have goalies. No goalies here. In this one, how are these teams doing? Colorado 7-1 in their last 8 games. 3 of their last 4 going over 6.5. 2 of their last 3 going overtime. Edmonton 7-1 in their last 9. 1 over, 3 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. 2 of their last 5 going overtime. How do these two teams do against each other? Well, the last 4 have gone to overtime, so I completely missed that, and I'll be adding the draw in this game as an additional play. 4 overs, 3 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. The Avalanche 9-1-1 in the last 11 meetings between these teams. They've had Edmonton's number. They have looked absolutely fantastic recently, and they are plus 115 in this game. Give me the Avalanche money line, plus 115. Give me McKinnon anytime goal and Valerie Nichushkin anytime goal. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'll be sticking with these 3, and I'll be adding the draw just because of both teams' recent play and the fact that the last 4 games have all gone to overtime, and this just seems like a draw. If it's not a draw, then I like the Avalanche to win by margin. So we'll bet them all. Oilers lean heavy on the draw, but no play for me. Well, the stats say draw as well. So there you go. Wow, this should be a barn burner. I agree. Over 7, but yeah. I'll sprinkle the draw. Yeah, that's what I'm doing as well. Half unit play. Over 6.5, minus 134. Okay, so you can get the 6.5 still. I'll be on all kinds of player props here. Yes, I should go back to Zach Hyman. Of course, I stopped taking the game. I stopped taking him. He gets a hat trick. So, from what I've heard, Hyman very good in home games. So most likely I'll be getting to Hyman anytime goal here. Looking at player props, McKinnon a point 14 games in a row, 4 more shots in 15 of his last 18, and he's got a goal in 7 of his last 8. That's why I'm going to be on it. Probably going to be minus 120, minus 125 for McKinnon goal, but it is what it is. Mikko Rantanen assist in 11 games in a row, 13 of his last 15. Valerie Nichushkin will get a much better price for him to score. He's got a goal in 5 of his last 6. 4 more shots in 7 of his last 9. Cale Makar has an assist in 7 of his last 9. McDavid's got an assist in 15 of his last 16. Leon Draisaitl a point in 6 of his last 7. Don't have Hyman stats, but very good at home when it comes to goal scoring and goal scoring in general in the year. So that will be another prop that I'll have to add. McKinnon versus McDavid. Yes, fireworks. That's all we should expect here in this one. But we've got one more game left. We're going to do it in under an hour. Wow, nice. Final game of the night, Washington Capitals, Vancouver Canucks. Washington plus 190 to plus 200. Vancouver minus 230 to minus 250. Sixes, there's a 5.5 at FanDuel between these teams. Casey DeSmith confirmed for Vancouver. Nobody yet confirmed for Washington. How are these teams doing recently? Washington 4-4 in their last 8. 1 over, 3 unders, 1 game, finished with 6 goals. Vancouver 4-0-1 in their last 5, coming off blowing the 3-0 lead against the Colorado Avalanche. 1 over, 4 unders, 1 game, finished with 6 goals. So both teams playing low scoring hockey recently. 2 of the last 4 going overtime for the Canucks. Vancouver 3-2-1 in the last 6 meetings. 4 of the last 7 going overtime. 2 overs, 2 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. No single plays here for me for the final game of the night. Yes, it seems like this could be a draw spot as well, but I also can see Vancouver just really coming out here and playing the defensive style game they've been playing, and I could see this being a 2-1 or maybe a 2-1 game, an empty netter for Vancouver. They win 3-1 type of deal. So not interested in pulling the trigger on the draw, but I could also see it being 1-1 or maybe 3-3 if DeSmith doesn't play that well. This game is kind of all over the place with possibilities, so staying off. Player props, didn't get anything, or he actually think he did bounce back in his last game. Dylan Strome, a point 9 of his last 13. Ovechkin, a point 16 of his last 20. And no, actually, neither got a point. Both of the Capitals' goals against the Kraken were unassisted, which is pretty rare. JT Miller, a point 10 of his last 11. Elias Pettersson, a point 3 of his last 4. Niels Hoglander, Quinn Hughes, both points in 4 of their last 5. So there is player props you could do with this game, but pretty much a pass here. Bye. Oh, bye. Okay. LOL. Please be Kemper. LOL. We'll see. JT Miller. DeSmith has great numbers against the Caps. Oh, okay. Interesting. Probably sprinkle the draw. Yeah, go for it. Stats go that way. They're the trends. Problem with Van and DeSmith have been period 3 breakdowns and penalty trouble. Don't get into penalty trouble. Yeah, the Caps not the team they used to be, but you don't want to give Ovechkin a bunch of power plays either. So, but the night parlay of the day, of course, we went over the afternoon parlay earlier. So, if people that are just skipping to the end for the parlay of the day, there is an afternoon parlay of the day that you missed. So, go take a look back at that. But for the night one, not to repeat it again, but it won for us the other night. We'll go back to it here. Philip Forsberg over half a point and Valerie Nishushkin over half a point. Odds to be determined. Here it should be usually it's around plus 130. These parlays tend to usually all be around minus 130. So that'll be the night parlay of the day. Philip Forsberg, Valerie Nishushkin. Why those two guys? Well, I did mention it earlier, but I'll say it one more time. Philip Forsberg a point in 9 of his last 10 games. Valerie Nishushkin a goal in 5 of his last 6. So both players playing very well for their respective teams recently. Great show and best of luck. Thank you. Thank you. If it ain't broke, tailing. There we go. There we go. That is the Saturday slate in just under an hour. 5 minutes to spare. So thank you everyone for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see all the stats I mentioned in today's show. If you want to make some parlays for yourself, whatever, all the stats are in the Google sheet in the description below. If you want to know about any additional props I'm on, they're highlighted in green in the description or in the Google sheet. I haven't bet them yet. Once they're official, I'll put them in the comments of this video on Saturday, probably around 11, something like that. So thank you everyone for watching. hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys most likely back on Monday again. Usually take Sundays off, but you never know. Best of luck, and we'll see you on the next show. Thanks for watching, guys.